Kevin Murphy Workgroup, and welcome to the continuation of the presentation that I gave for you in Palm Springs. This is Meilani MacDonald, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about Evernote. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to be working from my app that I downloaded onto my computer, so I'm not going online to evernote.com. I am working on my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and open my Evernote app. And here is the interface. So the first thing I want to click on is Notes. Here in the left-hand column is the organization for Evernote and how I'm going to find things. Today I will be showing you this, but also doing this with a presentation that I made on Google Hangouts. So hopefully you'll get a little bit of feeding two birds with one hand, where you're going to learn a little bit about the interface of Evernote as well as the awesomeness of Google Hangouts. Okay, so I have created a series of clips for this presentation on Hangouts. In my notes, if I click on Notes, it lists all the notes that I have. So how do I find my presentation easily? Well, I created a notebook for that presentation. So what I can do is now go into my notebooks, because I'm in my notes view and this shows everything that I have. I'm going to go into my notebooks view, and here it lists all my notebooks. And it also lists groups where you can group your notebooks together. So for example, I made a group, Meilani's Workshops, and it has my Apple Workshop, Google Hangouts for Business, and an identity branding presentation. I want the Google Hangouts for Business, so I'm going to double click on that one. Now what that did was open up this second pane in which I see all the clips that I have for this presentation. In the main pane, you see the big window, the clip that is chosen in the middle pane. So for example, I have example 01 chosen in the middle pane. That's what we're seeing here. Your editing is going to be done in your main window, where you get the large view of your clip. Before we go to there, let's look at this icon here. This icon is your view options. In your view options, you can choose your side list view, which I have chosen here. But if you like it a little more visual, you can choose card view. So if I choose on card view, this is what it looks like. It's still sorted the same way, because I have down here in the sort by list, I have chosen to sort it by title. But this is where you can change how you have it sorted. You could sort it by date created, date updated, etc. I sort it by title, and I like to use numbers in my title because that is the easiest way that I can get them to appear in the order I want them to appear. Now when I am making these clips, I don't always make the clips in the order in which they need to be presented, because I might think of something and then go, oh, that actually belongs a little higher up. So generally speaking, as I'm naming my slides, I will use a numbering system in order to get them to display the way I want them to display. If you have to change the name of your slide to rearrange the order, again, your editing is done in the large pane. So in example 01, if I needed to change that to a different number, I would click here, and there's where I could edit the number. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the side list view, just because it gives me a little more room in my large pane for you to see what's working there. You can also filter by tag, and you can share this notebook. So basically, after this presentation, I will share this Google Hangouts notebook with you because that's kind of a nice reference as well. I am also going to show you the tools that I used in Evernote in order to create this slideshow, like making this nice arrow and these letterings down here. Now, I did not realize at the time I was doing your presentation that those were not available, generally speaking, just inside the Evernote interface. And when I came back home and said, hey, what's going on here, I realized that I got those tools from a handy tool that is from my Google App Store. So I'm going to take a little break from the Evernote interface right now and bring up Google. Okay, so here I am in my Chrome browser. I'm using Google Chrome as my browser. This little icon here is my Evernote Clipper. That's where I find my tools. How did I get that Evernote Clipper? Well, go into your Apps icon, which is in your Chrome browser, because when you have a Chrome browser, they automatically include this little thing up here that shows you your apps. Okay? So now I want to go to the store. So I am now in the Chrome web store, and I'm going to search for Evernote. Here we go, Evernote Web Clipper. Okay. I have this one. This is an extension. Okay. Now this is not just the plain Evernote Web Clipper, which you get with Evernote, which allows you to clip. This is an extension that gives me extra functionalities. So in your Chrome store, there's apps, there's extensions. Look under extensions and look for Evernote Web Clipper. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and this is also from Evernote.com. Okay. So you can see here in the window that this is where it gave me all these little extra wonderful functions that I used to create that presentation. You would simply click on, I've already got it added, so it's green, it says added to Chrome, but you would click here and have it added to your Chrome website, and it will go ahead and install. Okay. So now I'm going to close out of there, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Okay, so here I am on my web page. Now if I click on this elephant head again, and it turns blue, now you can see what it means by article. And it gives you this nice outline of exactly what it's going to clip. So it allows you to clip the article without having to include, all the stuff on the sidebar which you may not want. So if you are reading an article and it's got some helpful information, you don't want all the ads on the side, you just choose article. You can do simplified article, and that just gives you sort of a nice, easy page here. It loses some of the layout. You can see the difference between the article, where it retains the layout, it retains the formatting, and you can see that these icons are 3 across on the bottom, whereas in the simplified article, you lose some of the formatting, the colors. Some of the formatting is retained, but not all of it, like the text colors are different, and your rows. So it's simplified article. You can choose full page, and that will give you everything. That includes the sidebar, the header, all those elements that were not included when you chose just the article. These things that are grayed out, I can do the full page. So if the sidebars are including things that you want to see, you can click full page. I can make just a bookmark. I don't want to click the whole page. I just want a bookmark to remember where to go back and get it with a little short pull from the page so you get an idea of what it's about. I can also do a screenshot, which took a screenshot of just exactly what was showing. So it wasn't the article, it wasn't the sidebar, it was just what was actually showing in your browser. Now the interesting thing is that you can see when I took the screenshot, my icon turned into this little red arrow pointing at that crosshair. These are markup tools. I took a screenshot and now it's saying, do you want to mark it up? Okay, so yes, this is how I marked up those other slides that you saw within the Evernote interface. So if I'm doing a presentation, for example, and I want to make sure that they see something interesting, I can use these tools. So if I use this arrow tool, I'm going to click here and drag, and it creates an arrow pointing to the element that I'm trying to point out in my presentation. Now if I go back and click that again after I've created it, I get these little nodes so I can move it around and make it point to the right place that I want it to point to. So now I have this little arrow. Well, what am I going to do with it? I'm probably going to want to write something about it. So I'm going to choose this type tool, and I put it right here, and I can start typing in. So you can see these are really pretty handy tools when you want to create a presentation. Now before I save this, I can add tags over here. So if I click on Add Tag, it gives you this little pop-out window. I can create a new tag, and I can even add comments so that I can get a little reminder of what this is. I also can choose where it's going to be filed. Right now I have Google Hangouts for Business, the presentation I'm showing you over in Evernote, because that's the last one I was working on. So I can choose that, and it goes into Google Hangouts for Business. Now I have my other notebooks here, so that if I wanted it to go into a different notebook, I can choose a different notebook, and it will go anywhere you want it to go. Then I can save, and it'll just go into my Evernote, or I can share, and when I click share, it gives me a link that's copied to my clipboard that now if I choose Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, it will go to that page and add that link. So it's basically just like sharing a link on Facebook. You can do it all automatically right from here, or you can just click on the link and go to wherever else you want and share that link. And that link is going to show them this page, this screenshot that you have clicked. It puts it up on the internet so they can see it. I am actually just going to exit out of this because I don't really want to share it. I was just doing this for demonstration purposes. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to Evernote. Now, had I saved that, a new clip would be showing in my list when I chose notes. It's not in here right now because I didn't save it, but if I had saved it, we would see it there. It may take a minute for it to show up because everything is constantly syncing, and you can always click on the synchronize icon here to make it sync right away. Okay. So now I'm back in Evernote, and I am back in this example, and now you saw how I created these wonderful little call-outs to make a presentation out of my clips. You can notice that over here I have some stuff screened out. It's pixelated so you can't see it, and this is when I was in YouTube, on the YouTube page, making these clips. It always shows, you know, suggested videos on the side here. I did not want those to be showing and distract people from my presentation, so back in the browser when I was making those clips, another one of the tools where the text tool was and the arrow tool was is a tool that pixelates this stuff. So they give you a lot of great tools. Go ahead and play with those and you'll have some fun. So now I'm going to go ahead and segue right into this Google Hangouts presentation. I had told you a little bit about Hangouts there and mentioned how powerful a tool it was, because you can actually do a Hangout, which is a face-to-face video conference, sort of like Skype, except you can have 10 people in the room. So, for example, if you didn't all want to travel to Palm Springs to have a meeting, you could all just get on your computers and open a Hangout and be in a meeting together, still see each other face-to-face, and not have to get on a plane and travel 5 hours first, which is kind of nice and handy. Inside a Hangout interface, there are tools. There are actually little apps from within a Hangout. One of those is called Lower Third. That's one of the most useful for anybody who is trying to promote something, who is doing a Hangout on Air, which is a Hangout that is broadcast live to the audience on YouTube, and which you can embed in your website and post around on your socials. And that lower third puts this stripe across the bottom where you can put your name, a tagline or a website, and your profile picture or a logo. So if you're doing a presentation and you're speaking to an audience, and especially if you're doing a Hangout on Air and speaking to an audience out on the internet, of course you want them to know what your name is, what your company is, what your website is, and a lower third strip across the bottom is really a must-have. I'm going to click on the next one down, and this shows you that you can easily present slideshows in your Hangout. I believe I mentioned that when you're in a Hangout, another one of the tools that it has is the ability to share your screen. So if you had a slideshow, for example, prepared, you could, and say that was, you saved it as a PDF, you would open that PDF, it would be open on your desktop. Then from within the Hangout, you would choose Share Screen. That would open a little window that asks you which window that you have open on your desktop do you want to show. And then you would choose that PDF window. And then everybody in the Hangout would, in their main screen, be seeing this slideshow that you had chosen, or the PDF that you had chosen. So that's another really handy tool. This is the description underneath the video. When you do a Hangout on Air, that's the one that's broadcast. If you remember the difference between a Hangout, which is private, which is that's everybody, we're having a meeting, let's do a Hangout. It's just you guys in the meeting, it's not being recorded, it's just enabling you to meet. Versus a Hangout on Air, which is a Hangout which is broadcast live on YouTube. For example, a fabulous new product demonstration. Well, after you're done with that Hangout on Air, it's automatically recorded and it's archived to your YouTube channel. And so if you're familiar at all with YouTube, underneath the videos there's a description. This is the description, and it's a good idea to put a call to action in the description. And that's why I chose this particular gentleman's presentation that he did. This is a call to action. He said, join us this weekend at $50 off the regular tuition by reserving your seat at, and then he put the website and the coupon code. So he put a nice description of what his presentation was. People watch the presentation, and then of course, you know, it's if you're an internet marketer and you're selling stuff, it's if you want to learn more, then join up for this, or whatever it is. So that's his call to action. Example number 4, I found this guy looking for plumbing, emergency plumbing in Phoenix, and he did a good job of using Hangouts to make his own commercial. So here's a small business person, maybe doesn't have a really huge budget to go and get a professional commercial made and then buy time on cable TV or wherever to put it. So what does he do? He used a Hangout on Air to create his own commercial. And he did a little bit of talking. You can see it's only 2 minutes and 27 seconds long. A little bit long, it's a little bit more than a commercial, but basically he was talking about his company and why his company's so good. He basically made a commercial. It was hosted to YouTube, and then now he can put that on his website. He can send it around to his mailing list and put it up in as many places as he wants. He could get an online press release, and that video can be included in his press release. So that's an example of, do-it-yourself commercial marketing using Hangouts. In this example, this is educators using Hangouts, and it's 2 classrooms from, opposite ends of the world. They're connecting educators and classrooms using Hangouts. The students work on a project and they connect with their sister classroom in some other country that are working on their project, and it's a really great way to engage students, to help them learn about other people in the world, and to get them really interested in what they're doing. In example 6, I'm talking about Hangouts on Air and how they are using them in event marketing on Facebook. So Hangouts on Air are a great tool for presenting a live webinar. Again, you can use your presentation, you can share your screen, so if you're browsing and you're showing people stuff on websites, they can see that. It's a great way to do a webinar. It's recorded, and then you can replay that webinar anytime. It's just a great way to use it over and over again and get a lot of use out of one presentation. You can do new products sharing. This particular video was awesome. This company is called Little Bits, and they were showing their latest and greatest new product. Now, what's great about them is they have a regular series, and they call it Ask an Engineer. These are educational products. So they are building an audience of teachers and students. So now when they do this product demonstration, they already have an audience built up that wants their stuff, that's interested in their stuff, that they can present to. Under YouTube, in YouTube, under the video, you'll see these links here, about, share. Default is on about, and that's where you see the description, but if you choose share, that's where you get all your icons to easily share it to your socials. You get a URL that you can copy and paste, put into an email or wherever you want to do it. It even gives you a box that you can check that says start at. So if you want to share a particular piece of information, you can tell it start at 2 minutes in, and it'll start there when you share it. And they click play, it starts at the 2-minute mark. Next to share this video, just above these icons here, it says Embed. And if you clicked on that Embed, that gives you the embed code that you could then put onto your website so your video shows in your website. And that's what this slide shows here. Embed is chosen, share, and you get the embed code. You can choose your video size here, and that's what size it'll put into the code. Now, Google Plus has integrated their comment system with YouTube's. So now, if you take a YouTube video that you made and you share it on Google Plus, what's going to happen is that all the comments that people made in Google Plus are going to show up now on the YouTube video page. So let's say, for example, you make a video demonstrating your latest new product and how awesome it is. And then you take that video and you share it on Google+, and your fans who are watching it say, oh, this is awesome, I can't wait to get this product. When will it be available? Oh, I've used this product, I really liked it a lot. You can generate all these wonderful little, basically, testimonials that people are putting in the comments on the post that you share to Google+. Now they are automatically going to show in the comments underneath your YouTube video on YouTube. So now, instead of just having a video on YouTube, you're going to have a video on YouTube that shows all those comments that people left that are wonderful little testimonials to you. The other thing that's really important about that is that they are integrating this stuff now into their Google advertising. So if you buy Google advertising and it shows your stuff on a bunch of different websites, before it was basically you would create an ad and give it to them and they would show that. Well, now you can make your Google Plus content part of your ad content. So that example that we just talked about, where you have a product and you share it in a post on Google Plus, this video, and it's got all those comments, now that post can actually be your ad. So an ad that shows up on some website might actually be the video of your product plus all the commentary underneath it, and that is huge, because if it's just an ad people feel like they're being advertised to. That's, you know, it's a little bit of an annoyance. Oh, they're showing me these ads. But if it's a video, that's an interest getter. And then if they're seeing a bunch of people leaving positive comments under, oh, this video is so cool, oh, I love this product, the click rates on those types of ads that show that social interaction and positive influence by the people interacting on it, the chances that people are going to actually click on that ad or interact on that ad are greater than if it was just a traditional ad that was saying, here, buy my stuff. So this is all huge. In the next example, I did not pixelate out what you see on the side, because when you are on somebody's videos, another one of the great things that they do is they show additional videos by that account. So you have uploaded a YouTube video, and you've uploaded several YouTube videos. In the sidebar, it's going to show other videos uploaded by this account. Those are the ones I circled and highlighted. So if they like the video you're watching, right then and right there, they're going to be presented with other videos that you've created, which, again, encourages more interaction and more clicks on your content, which is really nice. I use Hangouts on Air to create the TGIF Business Networking Hangout. This is my YouTube channel that I clipped here, and I have my TGIF Business Networking Hangouts showing first. So again, I used these to do my own marketing, establish myself, and introduce myself to an internet world that had absolutely no idea who the heck I was. And it's been very effective for me. One of the great advantages of creating video content, but what it does is it provides a steady stream of rich new content for my website. So every time I do a new episode of the TGIF Business Networking Hangout, I have a new post for my website. So even if I wasn't all that active as a blogger, as long as I'm still doing this twice a month, I get a great post that's going to have a lot of great keywords in it, because my topics are always, you know, topics that attract a small business and a solopreneur audience. The topics are always going to be stuff that they're interested in, which are great keywords for my content. So it provides a steady stream of rich new content. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of all the great ways that Google Hangouts can be used to benefit your business, done through a tour of Evernote that hopefully gives you a little bit of an idea about how you can do nifty things in Evernote like add the text, add the arrows, make it into a presentation tool. Because now all these slides are gathered together in a notebook, this Google Hangouts for Business notebook, and I can actually share that with you, which I will do. Going back now to our Evernote tour, this here lists all your tags. So if I wanted to find some particular slides, I had not made a notebook yet to store them in, and I wanted to find them. If I'm making tags as I'm clipping, if you noticed before when we were clipping from the websites, it gave you the ability to add tags. Get in the habit of adding your tags right when you're making the clips. So now if I wanted to find something and I didn't have it in a notebook, I could go to my tags. I like to have my tags showing by name because it just makes it easy for me to find. And I'll go to my Google tag. It says 10 notes. I'll show those 10 notes, and we're back here into the presentation. Atlas basically is kind of showing when I make a note and I clip something, if what I clipped has location information attached to it, it will show here in the Atlas. Market takes you right to where you can upgrade to higher levels of Evernote, which give you more features than you get even from all this free stuff. Okay, so let me go back up to notes. Again, tags are showing up here. Title here, and this is the title of the notebook that it's in, and I can click here to look through my other notebooks. I can mark up an entire note as a PDF. That is premium, you can see. Markup PDFs with arrows, shapes, and text. Now, that's premium, but you saw that if you get that web clipper from Chrome, you don't have to actually upgrade to premium to get those features. Okay. This allows you to show your clips in presentation mode. Again, it's another premium feature, so I'm just going to escape out of it. This allows me to share the note. I can post it to Facebook, post it to Twitter, I can email it, and I can copy the share link. This just gives you at a glance a lot of information about this particular clip. Here's the title of it. It's in this notebook. Here's the tags. It was created and updated on this date. Here's the URL. When was it synced? All that good stuff. And then, of course, I'm not going to click on that. That's the trash. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of a better idea of how organized Evernote can be and how wonderful it can be for creating presentations, creating notebooks that contain a lot of information that your group needs. Have a wonderful day and have fun clipping. Bye-bye.